Okay, I have another video showing the latest updates to the editor. So without further ado, I'm just going to go through the features that I've developed this week. The first one is renaming an object. So what you do is you select your object, hit F2 or go to the menu, and if you want you can rename it to, I don't know, light 69. How is that? So that's one of the features. I also support multi-select by hitting the shift key. So you can select multiple objects. Eventually I'll have it so that you can select them by tracing out a rectangle on the screen, but that's not necessary for now, and so to gain time, that feature isn't supported yet. With multi-select, you can move all the objects together, like so. You can also rotate them. So there you can see they're all rotating. Eventually I'll have it so that you can set a pivot point and have all the objects move and translate about that pivot point, but again, that's for future development. I can also delete objects, as you can see the option here, and the option becomes disabled as soon as you unselect an object, so therefore you can't use it. Also, I have cut and paste working, so I can select these objects, for instance these two. I can copy them, and if I want I can move them away, and then I can paste. Oops, I copied them again. Alright, I'll paste them, and there you have an exact copy. So I can move those out of the way, and if I want to paste again, you'll have another copy. So I have full cut and paste working, and everything works with multi-select. Another thing I have is full screen mode. So if you want to do away with the bottom toolbar here, you can select that, and then what I call super full screen mode, that gives you all the real estate you need to do the modeling in the level editor. And then you just unselect the super full screen mode, and then it'll go back to what you had normally. Another feature that I have is cloning. So I can select this object, for example, hit the shift key, and every time I translate, it'll leave a copy behind of the object. So here I'll just do a couple. And then if I select, you can see it's an exact duplicate. I don't know about the usefulness of this feature, but I saw an editor that had it, so I figured, well, I can code that up too, so I'll have it in my engine also. One thing I also worked on was revamping the editor tab. The other one that I had originally I thought was inflexible. So what this feature has is the entire edit tab is redockable, so I can move all the tabs in the editor to any location that I wish. I'll just move a couple. Just for completeness. Yeah, so that's enough. So I just reworked that because I thought this was a much more flexible solution, and I also added some buttons to toggle specific editor tabs, so I can pretty much toggle them on and off. There, that's pretty much all of them. And the properties, I can turn them all back on. So the other thing I did was implement the undo and redo so that it's much more complete. So with that, I'll start undoing, and we'll get back to what we had originally. As you can see, it'll record everything that we've done, and then we'll just go back to what we had, like so. So the redo and undo also works with multiple selections, single selections, and it supports all the properties. So if you change one option in an object, whatever property it can be, the editor will find it and record that change, so when you want to switch back, it'll just happen seamlessly. The other thing I have is if I were to exit, it'll warn me about saving the project since we've done some changes. That was fairly easy to code since I have a messaging system. So when you do a change, I just send a message, and whoever wants to listen in on the message can register with the system, and then they'll receive the message and then be able to act accordingly. So in this case, the editor responds to the project changed or modified message, and that's how it knows that the scene needs to be saved. So that's pretty much what I've done this week. What's left to be done is pretty much the editor tab. So I need to complete these tabs. Also the text editor and the image viewer, which are fairly easy to do. But I'm going to tackle the editor tabs next. Once those are complete, I would say that I'm out of the woods with the editor. Of course, the editor will never be complete. I'll keep adding features probably until the end of the game. But once the editor tabs are done, I'll have something that's complete enough to be usable by the artists. So until then, thanks for watching. Bye.